BlacKkKlansman starring John David Washington and Adam Driver. Ron Stallworth, an African-American police officer from Colorado Springs, successfully manages to infiltrate the local Ku Klux Klan branch with the help of a Jewish surrogate who eventually becomes its leader. Now, I originally planned on reviewing Sorry to Bother You for this week's episode, but after watching it, I just felt too weird to talk about it. If you've seen the movie, you probably know why, but that movie just goes so far off the railing that I didn't think I could review it without feeling bad or weird if someone decided to watch it because of me. For this movie, however, I thought it had a few ups and downs. I thought the story was very compelling, and generally speaking, I try to focus on the overall themes of a film on this channel instead of the small details. And obviously it's pretty difficult to talk about a movie that is fully focused on racism. I cannot say a whole lot other than racism is alive and well, and whether you see it or feel its effects regularly, it's there. So instead of getting angry and defensive as a quick reaction, I think to get on the inside is the way to go. Everyone has some skin in the game, and I think this movie depicts that reality in a unique way. And now I have another book added to my list because of this channel. Who would have thunk it? This movie at times felt kind of boring to me, and I think it had to do with the score. It was rather lacking in my opinion, and where that becomes most apparent is how it's used. There's this one song that comes on whenever there's something supposed to be heavy or a silent moment, yet because of the style and timing, it has more of a hypnotic effect where I just feel sleepy and kind of zone out, at the worst possible time. So I wish there were more dynamic pieces to add or to make me sit in silence like the character would be experiencing themselves. What this movie does really well also seems to be what it suffers from the most. Every scene where they're infiltrating the organization feels very intense because you fear the longer they stay, the more likely they are to get caught. It feels very tense and real, yet everything that doesn't happen seems to get brushed off as if it was supposed to be forgotten, things that don't happen inside of their sting operations. I don't know if that's because of editing, but the movie seems to be building up to something and suddenly it appears to run out of steam and kind of just fizzle out. I don't think an ending of a movie spoils the entire story, but I think that a last impression is just as important as the first impression. And this movie has no real resolution, and it's beyond ambiguous as to what happens next. I'm curious as to what awards this movie will receive for the Oscars, but I'm not sure what I just saw was the best picture. But I don't know, that's just how I feel.